Hey folks, this is Fragments of Memory once again. And I just wanted to relay an incident that happened to me the other day. I was at the local wing stop getting me some chicken wings, and I looked over and there was a younger man. He looked like maybe college age, early college age, about 18 or 19. And he was wearing a hoodie, and it was a Thundercats hoodie. And I saw it and I complimented him. I said, "Hey, I like your shirt." And he was like, "Thanks, man." And I remember just thinking in my head, I'm like, "What does this young guy know about Thundercats?" Because I can remember growing up where Thundercats was the show that I used to watch as a little kid. I loved it. I had the action figures. I begged my mom to buy me some Thundercats action figures. I remember all of that. So it's kind of funny that something that I enjoyed as a child, at about 6 years old, I think I was 6 years old. So here I am, 6 years old, loving the Thundercats, loving the whole Thundercat universe. And then nowadays, this cat that wasn't even born when I was a kid is now wearing a shirt like it's chic and it's in style. And I noticed that a lot about because I was a kid in the 80s, so there's a lot of things that are now chic or geek chic or nerd chic or just, fanboy chic. Back in the day where pop culture were part of pop culture. Like I remember Transformers, that's the big thing. I remember, everyone's doing Transformers movie and everyone's talking about Transformers and all of this, and people are getting Transformer tattoos and wearing Transformers memorabilia. I can remember when I was a kid, the TV show used to come on all the time. I remember when I was a kid, for my fifth birthday, I actually had a Transformers cake. It was Optimus Prime, as a matter of fact. I can even remember the movie where Optimus Prime died, So it's just kind of interesting that things are being revisited. And, my parents used to talk about this, especially my mother, when Nick at Night came on, all the reruns of Bewitched, all the reruns of Dobie Gillis and Donna Reed used to come on Nick at Night, and I used to watch them. And then my mom would be like, "This is stuff I used to watch prime time. This came on at night, at night on prime time." Just like Bill Cosby's in syndication or the Cosby Show's in syndication. I can remember every Thursday night we used to watch the Cosby Show. So I'm amazed at how time just passes. And the old saying, "There's nothing new under the sun," rings true. Because even songs, I remember, even people sample songs from the 60s, the 70s, and even the 80s. And it's blatant, and I see all of that. I remember did a group called Money Snap, and it was the OJs for the love of money. So I'm impressed with that. And at the same time, it's kind of flattering that I was around during a time that this stuff that's supposedly chic or underground now was pretty much what I was into as a kid. Um, I'm just very fascinated with the passage of time, even just how we, even now, like I'm now in my 30s, and I'm just like, wow, I can remember being a little kid thinking 30 was so far away. I can remember thinking, being a kid, that, those older people don't understand, and so on and so forth. And now here I am, kind of at that mark, I'm 30 now, and I'm just like, wow, I remember, when this was popular. I remember when that was popular. I can remember where I was when this was going on and how, shoot, I can remember Mary J. Blige's first album. I could remember not only Mary J. Blige's first album, I could remember what's another singer or act that is still around me. I can remember when Mariah Carey first came out, and when she was hitting the high notes, every girl was trying to hit the high notes like Mariah and couldn't do it. Um, I can even remember when Snoop wasn't doing soap operas. He was a gangster rapper. Now he's doing soap operas. So it's just funny how the passage of time sees all these changes. For example, like when I was a kid, we had toys like the See and Spell. We also had like Atari or Nintendo, and of course, that wasn't like a big deal because you had to go over to a friend's house to play it. Most of the time, we was playing with our action figures, and we did other stuff, and we played kickball in the neighborhood. Like I never really saw, like stuff that we see now, like all this electronics. Like little kids have iPods now. I can remember when cats used to sit on porch stoops in front, driving, parking lots and driveways, and had the big old stereo and pop in the tape and blast the music, and we'd hear the music in the neighborhood. I mean, just stuff like that. Where now I guess it's not the same anymore. I'm also impressed with just things like now you got books on something called a Nook or an e-reader or the Kindle. Like that was unheard of when I was a kid. In fact, just things seemed a little magical now. Maybe it's because of my age, but things aren't as magical and filled with wonder as they used to be. And we have all these conveniences, but we still don't have enough time. Like the cell phone, like everybody's got a cell phone. Even little kids play like they got a cell phone. Everybody's got cellular devices now. Everyone's either texting, Facebooking, MySpacing, like all this stuff really didn't exist when I was a kid, and even in my teen years. Like stuff that teenagers are doing now, I didn't have that. We didn't have that. Worst internet thing we did was email, and of course there was always the dreaded pornography jokes when regarding the internet. But generally speaking, most of the time the internet was just emailing or looking at the latest, website of a TV show we liked. At least that's what I did. And now, man, it's just some heavy stuff going out here. It's just super heavy. It's super heavy. So it just made me really remark on the passage of time in general. Just the passage of time and space and all of that. And sometimes it's weird. Like I'll hear songs from when I was 18 years old, and my mind will flash back to when that song was popular and what I was doing right around that time and who I was kicking it with and all that other stuff. So that's really all I have to say. This is just me kind of ruminating. This is just more of reflecting on the passage of time. So give info or like it or hate it, doesn't really matter. I'm just kind of rambling at this point. But thank you for tuning in if you have. Peace, and I'm out.